Hi, I'm Theo Hoffman, and I'm so honored to be coming to you on your screen to bring you another edition of Seattle Opera's Songs of Summer. Many of the artists you've seen on this series are Seattle Opera favorites, but I actually haven't had the pleasure of singing at McCaw Hall yet. This spring, I was set to make my Seattle debut in La Bohème, so it's an honor to connect with the Seattle Opera audience in this format, and I look forward to singing for you live someday. With each of these virtual recitals, Seattle Opera is highlighting a partner organization making an impact in our communities. This week, I'm pleased to tell you about the Japanese American Citizens League. JACL is one of the nation's oldest and largest Asian American civil rights organizations. Seattle Opera has learned and benefited greatly from the activism of Seattle JACL's members, particularly during discussions of racial justice and cultural appropriation surrounding Madama Butterfly and An American Dream. You can learn more about Seattle JACL in the information shared with this video. Brad Moore, our pianist, and I met years ago in New York, hanging out, reading Lieder together, and becoming good friends. He and I finally got to concertize together for the first time at the Kennedy Center a few seasons back. Rehearsing and recording across the country does have its frustrations, but this actually has been a wonderful way to collaborate with someone from my musical life whom I miss making music with very much. In quarantine, I have been somewhat surprised by the repertoire I've been naturally drawn to in my practice. I find myself singing songs from the origins of my studies in music, and I especially find myself drawn to songs of longing, comfort, and connection. These 7 songs we have for you today all deal with some sort of desire for human connection, the absence of which we are acutely aware of in these confusing times. We begin our program with a youthful sort of longing in one of Jonathan Dove's Tennyson songs. I came to this next song when I was a student at Juilliard, and I don't think I can remember a song inspiring me so much, which led me to present the opus in its New York premiere. Jonathan Dove's musical setting here is like little else in the repertoire, combining a sort of minimalism with sweeping big romantic gestures. It is fiendishly difficult for the pianist, so bravo to Brad. The poem by Tennyson depicts a young man singing out to a swallow to carry a message home to his lover many miles away. Here is O Swallow, Swallow by Jonathan Dove.
O swallow, swallow, flying, flying south, fly to her and fall upon her gilded leaves, and tell her what I tell to thee. O tell her, swallow, that thou knowest each, that bright and fierce and fickle is the south, and dark and true and tender is the north. O swallow, swallow, if I could follow and light upon her lattice, I would pipe and trill and cheep and twitter 20,000,000 loves. Oh, were I thou, that she might her heart with love. Delaying as the tender ash delays to clothe herself when all the woods are green. Oh, tell the swallow that thy brood is flown. Say to her, I do but wander in the south, but in the north, long since my nest is made. Oh, tell her, brief is life, but love is love, and brief the son of summer in the north, and brief the moon of beauty in the south. Oh, swallow, swallow, flying from the golden wood, fly to her and pipe and woo her, and make her mine, and tell her that I follow thee.
The next song, in a few words, is set to one of the sexiest poems ever written. Paul Verlaine's imagery is unabashedly graphic, depicting a liaison in the forest between two lovers. En sourdine means muted, and the song does an incredible job of evoking a passionate yet somewhat removed view of this encounter. Here is Fauré's En sourdine.
Dans le demi-jour que les branches hautes font, pénétrons bien notre amour de ce silence profond. Mêlons nos âmes, nos cœurs innocents extasiés, parmi les vagues longueurs des pas et des arbousiers. Ferme tes yeux à demi, croise tes bras sur ton sein, et de ton cœur endormi, chasse à jamais tout dessein. Laissons-nous persuader au souffle berceur et doux qui vient dépirider les ondes des gazons roux. Et quand solennel soir des chaînes noires tombera, vois de notre désespoir le rossignol chantera.
Samuel Barber's early Opus 13 contains 4 very varied songs. The final song of that opus is Nocturne, a sensual and complex lullaby or serenade of sorts. The song evokes the feeling of reuniting with a lover after the rest of the world has perhaps faded from existence.
Close, my darling, both your eyes. Let your arms lie still at last. Calm the lake of falsehood lies, and the wind of lust has passed. Waves across these hopeless sands fill my heart and end my day. Underneath your moving hands, all my aching flows away. Even the human pyramids blaze with such a longing now. Close, my love, your trembling lids. Let the midnight heal your brow. Northward flames Orion's horn, westward the Egyptian light. None to watch us, none to warn. But the blind eternal night.
Tchaikovsky's Queen of Spades is rather rarely performed in the US, but what a fantastic opera. Into this score, Tchaikovsky poured some of his most anguished, feverish operatic writing. The lead soprano and tenor roles are almost unsingable. It is truly so exciting. If you ever have the chance to see this show live, run, don't walk. In this aria, Prince Yeletsky declares his love for Lisa in one of the most lyrical, serene moments of the show, and really in all of opera. It is one of my favorite pieces of music that Tchaikovsky ever wrote. One silver lining of quarantine is that it has left me with a blank slate to work on whatever I want to incorporate into my musical life. I know many of my colleagues are finding themselves with the space to explore new repertoire and are striving to use their voice in new ways. Yeletsky is part of a corner of the repertoire that young baritones are told to tread upon very lightly, and for good reason. I have kept away from this aria until now because it has not felt appropriate, and I am so glad for it. Lately, this piece has felt really right, and one has to listen to that within themselves. I recently turned the ripe old age of 27, and I thought as a birthday gift to myself, I would begin my journey with this new aria. Obviously, the best place to put something you just started working on is the internet. So, here for you is my first smack at Ilecki's aria, Ja was lubię.
Вы так печальны, дорогая, как будто горе есть у вас. Доверьтесь мне. Постойте на одно мгновенье. Я должен вам сказать. Я вас люблю безмерно, без вас не мыслю дня прожить. Я подвиг силы беспримерной, готов сейчас для вас свершить. Но знайте сердце вашего свободу, ничем я не хочу стеснать, готов скрываться вам в угоду. И порывы чувств нет на все для вас готов я, не только любящим супругам, слугой полезным иногда. Желал я быть вашим другом и утешителем всегда. Ясно вижу, чувствую теперь я, куда себя в мечтах залог, как мало вас ко мне доверия, как чужд я вам и как далек. Ах, я терзаюсь этой далью, со стражду вам я все душой, печалью с вашей отвечаю и плачу вашею слезой. Ах, я терзаюсь этой далью, со стражду вам я всей душой. Я вас люблю безмерно, без вас не мыслю дня прожить. Я подвиг силы беспримерной, готов сейчас для вас свершить. О, милая,
One of the most exciting things about being a singer today is getting to witness our art form evolving in real time. From the Me Too movement to the incredibly powerful reaction to the tragic murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, what's happening in society influences how art from the past resonates with audiences today. We need to prioritize historically oppressed storytellers in opera and theater, such as women and people of color. But when it comes to a musical like Carousel, an opera like Madame Butterfly, Così fan tutte, or other problematic works, can we continue to enjoy these pieces? Is there a way to hold on to what we love about them while addressing the harmful ideas that they uphold? I don't necessarily have the answers, but I am learning, listening, and engaging in the conversation. In the spirit of this ongoing dialogue, I offer Soliloquy from Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel. Simply put, it is a gorgeous piece of music. Beyond that, however, it reveals rigid and deep-seated patriarchal ideas inherent in Western culture. In this song, a cookie-cutter patriarch, Billy Bigelow, realizes that, it actually wouldn't be so bad to have a daughter. It's hard to imagine that kind of archaic thinking even occurring today. However, this song tells a story of a very simple man evolving in his thinking, something I wish more people would do these days. Here is Soliloquy.
I wonder what he'll think of me. I guess he'll call me the old man. I guess he'll think I can lick every other fella's father. Well, I can. I bet that he'll turn out to be the spitting image of his dad. But he'll have more common sense than his puddin'-headed father ever had. I'll teach him to wrestle and dive through a wave when we go in the mornings for our swim. His mother can teach him the way to behave, but she won't make a sissy out of him. Not him, not my boy, not Bill. Bill. My boy Bill, I will see that he's named after me. I will. My boy Bill, he'll be tall and as tough as a tree. Bill, Bill, like a tree, he'll grow with his head held high and his feet planted firm on the ground. And you won't see nobody dare to try to boss him or toss him around. Oh, fat bottom, flabby faced bully, he'll boss him around. And I don't give a damn what he does, as long as he does what he likes. He can sit on his tail and work on a rail with a hammer and spikes. He can ferry a boat on a river, or pedal a pack on his back, or work up and down the streets of a town with a whip and a horse and a hack. He can haul a scow along the canal, run a cow around a corral, or maybe bark for a carousel. Of course, it takes talent to do that well. He might be the champ of the heavyweights, or a feller that sells you glue, or president of the United States. That'd be all right, too. His mother would like that, but he wouldn't be president unless he wanted to be. Not Bill. My boy Bill, he'll be tall and as tough as a tree. Bill, Bill, like a tree, he'll grow with his head held high and his feet planted firm on the ground. And you won't see nobody dare to try to boss him or toss him around. Oh, fat bottom, flabby face, pot-bellied, baggy-eyed bastard, will boss him around. And I'm damned if he'll marry his boss's daughter, a skinny-lipped virgin with blood like water, who'll give him a peck and call it a kiss, and look in his eyes like a lorgnette. Say, why am I taking on like this? My kid ain't even been born yet. I see him when he's 17 or so, and starting to go with a girl. I can give him lots of pointers, very sound, on the way to get round any girl. I can tell him... Wait a minute. What the hell? Could it be? What if he is a girl? Oh, Bill! Bill! What would I do with her? What could I do for her? A bum with no money. You can have fun with a son, but you gotta be a father to a girl. She mightn't be so bad at that. A kid with ribbons in her hair, a kind of neat and petite little tintype of her mother. What a pair! My little girl, pink and white as peaches and green is she. My little girl is half again as bright as girls are meant to be. Dozens of boys pursue her, plenty a likely lad does what he can to woo her from her faithful dad. She has a few pink and white young fellows of 2 or 3, but my little girl gets hungry every night, and she comes home to me. My little girl, my little girl. I gotta get ready before she comes. I gotta make certain that she won't be dragged up in slums with a lot of bums like me. She's gotta be sheltered and fed and dressed in the best that money can buy. I never knew how to get money, but I'll try, my God, I'll try. I'll go out and make it, or steal it, or take it, or die.
In the history of Argentinian music, few composers have been able to blend the worlds of art music and popular music more successfully than Carlos Guastavino. Often called the Schubert of the Pampas, Guastavino creates a passionate musical world in this song, Pampa Mapa. Lima Quintana, the poet, was a handsome man, self-described as a true Creole. He was descended on his mother's side from a Pampas Indian chief, while his father came from Spanish colonial stock. His writing often drew on his personal life, and in this poem he is especially self-revelatory and emotional. In 1978, Quintana's outspoken poetry began to attract the anger of Argentina's military dictatorship, and the poet spent a year in exile in Spain. It was during this period that he wrote the proud, intense, and angry Pampa Mapa.
Yo no soy de estos pagos, pero es lo mismo. He robado la magia de los caminos. Esta cruz que me mata me da la vida. Una copla me sangra che canta e rida. No me pidas que deje mis pensamientos, no encontrarás la forma de atar al viento. Si mi nombre te duele, echado al agua, no quiero que tu boca se ponga amarga, se ponga amarga. A la huella mi tierra tan trasnochada, yo tiraré mis sueños, dame tu calma. Como el pájaro antiguo conozco el rastro, sé cuando el río es verde, cuando hay que amarlo. Por eso es que mira, no te confundas, el agua que yo busco es más profunda. Para que fuera cierta tercer un canto, ahora te dejo sola, me voy llorando, pero nunca mi cielo de pena muero. Junto a la luz del día nazco de nuevo, nazco de nuevo. A la huella mi tierra tan trasnochada, yo te daré mis sueños, dame tu calma.
My final offering to you today has become somewhat of a quarantine anthem. One of Sondheim's most emotionally indulgent works, it comes from one of his lesser-known musicals, Evening Primrose. Originally written for TV, it tells the story of Charles, who takes refuge from the world by hiding out in a department store after closing. In the store, he discovers a group of people who has lived in the store for years. Charles falls in love with Ella, who hasn't seen the sun for 13 years. When she finally decides to leave the store with Charles, she sings this song, Take Me to the World. With this song, I wish you good night, as well as health and comfort during these wild days for our world. I know that opera will return soon, but until then, please support the artists you love. We need you, and we look forward to being with you again soon in person. Thank you and good night.
Let me see the world with clouds. Take me to the world. Out where I can push through crowds. Take me to the world. that smiles with streets instead of aisles, where I can walk for miles with you. Take me to the world that's real, show me how it's done. Teach me how to laugh, to feel, move me to the sun. Just hold my hand whenever we arrive. Take me to the world where I can be Let me see the world that smiles. Take me to the world. Somewhere I can walk for miles. Take me to the world. With all around things growing in the ground, where birds that make sounds are birds. We shall see the world come true. We shall have the world. I won't be afraid.